What's up, fam? Welcome back to the Fee King Show on the Road Again segment with my girl T. Too Tight Tonya Jones. What's up, Jones? I see a different background. Where is you?
Girl, I'm in Seattle, girl.
She's on the road.
Mhm. On the road again.
So Megan,
Yes.
hi, hi,
Yeah.
Megan, Alex.
Girl, they somewhere. Meg might still be in the bed, which I probably would have been.
Oh, that's right. It is. That's right. It is early, early, early. So, what do you think of my light? I have a little more light and then a less light because my bulb just blew out.
Oh,
Do you know? Is it a little
but
more?
I'm seeing like it's a little more clarity.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
imagine when I fix the bulb anyway. I don't want to spend time
I know,
on
because I got less light.
yes, more lights, camera, action. And so I'm just checking on the Facebook. It says that we are live, and I know that we're live on the YouTube, and we are live on LinkedIn. This is the Fee King Show. The show is all about who are you, what do you do, what's your why, how in the world are you keeping this thing all together, i.e., what is your self care modality? And then Fridays, oh, we popping off on Fridays because you got two of us, and the show is all about travel, how to get on the road again, how to navigate being on the road again, whether it's local staycation or you're traveling through the states or you are jumping over the pond. And so, with that being said,
Mhm.
Jones, you are again somewhere else. I think since we started this, you've been you've traveled at least 4 times since we
I
started,
know. I
and
know.
I've only traveled once, and I'm jealous. Keep it real.
Keeping it real.
So I
Yeah,
know
girl.
it was your birthday
Friday
last
was my birthday,
Friday.
so it's been a lot of festivities this week. I've mostly been unplugged, which has been nice. So you haven't seen me on the lines. On the lines. I just came up with that one. I'm going to keep that one on the lines
I
on the
love
interwebs.
hashtag on the lines.
I haven't been on the lines. So yeah, so this month actually I haven't really been online since your birthday Friday. It's been a nice full week. Um I had dinner with some friends and little dancing, little something. Then my homie Paulie was in town from Philly. He's being fabulous as always. So I actually changed my flight and stayed in LA longer to catch him. And then I came up here. Now I'll be in Seattle for a week. You know, I come up here all the time though. It's my kind of my R&R spot.
Okay,
Hmm.
sorry about that. The Ethernet just kicked in. I think I did something. So
Okay.
how's the weather in Seattle?
You know, it's lovely. It's pretty cool right now, because it's earlier in the day, so it's in the low 60s. But we look at the weather. It said, yeah, it's supposed to go up to high 70s, like 78, 79. And the thing is, you never know with the weather up here how it's going to be. Even in the summer, sometimes it could do you dirty. But no.
Does it get hot? Because I remember, well, I wasn't there in the summer when we went on that cruise, but it was the spring, and I was shocked at how cold it was. I liked it, but does it get
Mhm.
hot in Seattle?
Yes, it does. So, like I said, it'll go up into the high 70s. And I think tomorrow same or low 80s. So, but I've been here, in a July and actually had on like a fur hat too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of it can be that way. But I think in the past couple of years, it's been more it felt like more like summer. You know,
Okay.
like warm. Yeah, yeah. But it fluctuates. It's
Shout
tricky.
out to Seattle. I bought a freaking a coat. Remember that we went shopping? So Too Tight and Too
Mhm.
Tight actually treated me to a cruise. Was it 5 days or 7?
Ooh, was it 5 or 7? I can't. I know. I can't remember. Oh man, I'm
And it
not
was your
sure.
it was your first, right?
Yeah, I'm not really a cruise girl. So I have won that cruise. It was my first and only cruise because I won that cruise from a casino during my casino
Tommy
playing
days.
days. And yeah, that's gonna be in my book. And so I was like, but the only cruise actually that I would have ever considered going on is an Alaska cruise. Because there's certain things that you cannot see from the land that you can only see from the sea. And plus you want to go through, see the glaciers and stuff. You need to be on a boat.
Yeah.
There's Glacier Bay and stuff. So that was the only cruise. I was like, oh, well, they're off because you could pick a couple of different ones, I think, from when you won, and they chose, Alaska was one of them. And I was like, oh, I'll do that one. Yeah, and that was the reason, like just to see the landscape.
I said yes
Mm-hmm.
because I needed to freaking unplug, and I said, so that was my third or fourth cruise. First cruise to Alaska. So y'all, let me paint this picture for you.
Yeah, I'm about to say there is a picture.
let me paint the picture for you. So when we board the ship, Tonya's like, she's looking around at our ship neighbors, and she was like, "Bro, I don't know. I don't know about this."
Girls, the commoners.
and it was Norwegian, which is a really nice cruise ship, especially if you compare it to Carnival. There is no comparison.
Okay.
And so it attracts an older, more mature crowd and a lot of couples. And so we were looking like we were booed up. I'm sure people assumed that we were in a relationship because the majority of the people on the ship were. And so Tonya was like, girl, I don't know about this. And I was like, girl, we are here. We are committed. We're getting on this freaking A ship and we're going to have lots of naps. Like who takes a cruise to go on naps? We had so much fun, y'all. So much fun to the point where we were doing our best to figure out how can we miss the ship and just start life over. Do you remember that?
I know, because listen, we were having a good time. We slept. We were tired too. We slept for like 10 hours, 11 hours, something like that first night. But the waves, like the feeling, the motion of it. Yeah, that was really good. That felt good. Girl, I'm glad upgraded for that balcony. That's what I said too. I was like, when we go to Glacier Bay, I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be like New York cockroaches at 3 a.m. They're all coming out on that deck.
Did you say New York cockroaches?
That's right, girl. They come out. They come out.
Oh my gosh, I've not experienced that. I've not even seen a cockroach.
Well, you know what? You're gonna find an establishment during a different time in our history. But let me tell you, if you were there doing your formative youth years of New York, and especially living in some of the places that me and my friends were living, yeah, you would have seen some cockroaches by then. So anyway.
I almost hate that I missed that experience. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry you missed the cockroach era. It was strong and wrong. But yeah, I just said, we're not going to be up on that deck like that with all the commoners. Yeah, y'all. This is my bougie adjacent self coming out. And I was like, if y'all stack up there trying to get a view, you got to get it. I said, no, we're going to sit on this balcony and put our feet up. We're getting an upgrade because that's how I am.
And I appreciate that upgrade. So here's another thing. When you travel with people, you really, it's either it's going to go left or it's going to go great or it's going to go right. You just never know. And this was an opportunity for me to share with Two Type because we had traveled together before, but not in such close proximity where we were, waterlocked. We were in this small room on this ship for either 5 or 7 days. And I said, Too Tight, I need to share something with you. And I bet she was like, you could have shared that with me before you said yes to this cruise. And I said, listen, I get a little claustrophobic and I get nervous because in my mind, I can't breathe and I need to escape. I said, so I just need you to know if you see an odd look on my face, just like maybe come over and touch my hand. Because sometimes, and for those of you who are like me, if you're a little claustrophobic, sometimes you just need to know that you're not in it alone. And sometimes that's just a matter of someone touching you. Because I've had conversations on airplanes with strangers. By the way, I'm claustrophobic. I'm in the middle seat. And so if you don't mind, if you see me looking a little odd, if you could just touch my hand. and it works. And Tony was like, "Oh, girl, okay, no problem." We had the most fantabulous time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that cruise was everything to me. And then my life shifted afterwards, but that's in my book coming
Mm-hmm.
the end of next month. As soon as I get the edits, the manuscript to my editor. So too tight. Last week
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about you not really liking to book a trip, handle your travel affairs, leave your travel affairs to a travel agent.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to talking about something that I've never heard of, and I'm sure many of our listeners haven't. I think it's a new term. Maybe you coined it. Hashtag, let me put that up. Hashtag, what do you call it?
You
Travel.
know, I can't even take credit, but there is a new term. Yet no people out there using it, you know. But a travel, well, you might hear travel designer, or you might hear travel curator.
Oh, I love curator. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh. Okay, so this is new. I again, not until you said it have I ever heard of it. Let's talk about the differences and the benefits of using a travel agent versus a travel curator.
Yeah, and you know what? So one, because I know, speaking, you have used some travel agents in the past,
Why are you
and
putting all my business out there? Like
no,
you know,
because you already said it last week. Like you
but people
said
don't
it.
remember things from last week, and you putting all my business out there.
I do. So it's people like me that have a very beautiful memory mind, and
Not a very beautiful. Oh, so now you shading me because my memory tends to be a little sketchy.
yeah,
Oh,
because I'm giving it some type of measurements and qualifiers of greatness. Um, 'cause
look, I'm gonna hang in there with you. I'm gonna stick with you. Go ahead. I'm
you
listening.
have a beautiful memory mind like mine. So they might remember. And I was gonna ask you first, like what so when you have used travel agents, like
Yeah.
what was the thing that made you like decide to use them? Like what were you hoping for? What did you think they were? And did they meet those expectations of what you thought a travel agent did or would?
Ooh. I will say this. I've not used them as much as you think. I've only used them for my own personal twice, if you can believe that. I've used them with other people. For instance, when my sister got married in St. Lucia, we used her travel agent. It was not pleasant. When my best friend Elisa Luker had her 50th birthday party in Jamaica, we used a travel agent in Omaha. It was a better experience because I learned from the previous how to communicate in a more effective way.
Mm-hmm.
But it too wasn't the greatest. It was better. And then the other reason why I chose this last time for my 51st birthday party in the Dominican birthday celebration, it was because I was so exhausted. I
Mm-hmm.
just did not have it in me. And you know me, I don't prefer a resort. And I said, too tight. I just need some rest. Like we're going to the Dominican to rest. And you were like, Fee, I'll do this for you. This is not really, I really don't. And then I had the audacity to use the same travel agent. I don't want to get myself in trouble because this is social media. And so going forward,
Mm-hmm.
I will not do it again. I would much rather use a curator slash designer based on what you did for Fatima West two
Mm-hmm.
shows ago. That was beautiful. And I said, you know what? That is worth I don't know what it costs, but just for the experience and to be able to take that off my plate, I am here for it. I am so here for it.
Yeah. Okay, thinking. Yes, I remember that woman because she was sending me some questionable emails, but I said, I'm in a time in my life that I don't respond to these things in the way that my impulse might try to lead me to.
Yes.
Because I was reading that email. I was like, wait a minute. The first one, it was a little hood. I was talking to. I was like, hmm.
And so now that I know better, I am choosing to do better because I think when you're traveling, it is a time of rest and rejuvenation, reflection.
Mhm.
The last thing you want is something and someone externally creating stress. And there were moments in that travel experience where it was like, what? And some things didn't go the way, but then it all worked out because our Dominican brothers like hooked us up, took care of us. It was great. However, going forward, I would lovingly encourage and invite you all, if you are in the process of traveling, if you're thinking about traveling, if you are wanting to open yourself up to the possibility, then this is the show you want to watch and you want to share. Because Tonya, go ahead, take it from there, because this is your arena.
No, thank you, friend. So so with the travel agents, it's so funny, and maybe it's also too because I just personally will have an idea of vision of somewhat, even though I don't know exactly what I want to do, like a feel, a vibe, and I like to feel like more agency like over that. I feel like so with travel agents, one of the big not all. There are, especially these days, there are some that are kind of expanding, but I feel like traditionally, like travel agents, they're good for booking, like I said, like a cruise, or they usually know like resorts if you're looking for that kind of vacation, or I don't know. I don't even these days. Maybe back in the day it was easier, but these days I'm not sure why people would use them just to book flights, but some people still do that. But I think, keeping it very basic within those things. But see, for me, even for those kind of things, like if something comes up or I have additional questions, for me, I don't like a middleman in that regard. Like even if I have to change a flight, even if I have a question about, oh, what is this package for this thing? And I like to be able to communicate with people directly about my plans. So that's just me. And I have found too that usually I'm going to ask different kinds of questions if I'm communicating with the person directly, or guide that conversation in a different way, that I'm getting information that I want that may not be traditionally what a travel agent might ask about. And that's like more personal, like influenced by who you are and what's important to you and how you travel. So for me, I just like to be in control of that. But outside of those things, when we talk about more like a travel designer or a travel curator, it's a little more holistic, like based on your interests. Like a lot of times with traveling, a lot of the work is actually figuring out what to do, or the research. And I read somewhere that could take somewhere like whether it's a few days or maybe it's a couple of weeks, like anywhere from like 15 to 40 hours of someone's time. Where kind of like
I don't enjoy it, and so everyone is different. And if you enjoy doing it, then maybe you can book your own trips. But I also think that a travel agent doesn't really take that away from you, because what I found in my experience is that they stick within a realm of resorts that they work with. And so if you want to do Airbnb or VOB, they're like, oh no, we don't do that. So I think that's where you would benefit from a curator, right?
Yeah, they have they'll have very limited sometimes like hotel choices, because there's commissions and deals and stuff too. And a lot of times like travel agents, like there are some that may specialize in one area, which you're a little better off with if you want like a little beyond those basics. But for a lot, they're not, so it's just kind of like just run of the mill. Like if you're looking for something a little more unique and authentic and personalized, I think that's where you want to go another way. Because once you get to a place, like they're not going to be the people that's like knowing, like I said, unless they're from an area and they really specialize in that area or have connections, people on the ground. They're not going to be the people that's going to find like that, really unique coffee shops with the pendants hanging from the ceiling from 1910. They're not the people that's going to be able to tell you like, oh, that's the the hole in the wall shot from grandma from 60 years, but they have the best fish tacos in the country. Like,
And
you
that's
know,
what
and
you
that's what you
want.
want. Like, so that's the designer curator part. Exactly. That's like, you know, someone that when you get to a place, like you can design, have a unique trip experience designed for you and based on your interest. Like, you know, so for me, like I'm a foodie arts person. So those are things that I like dig into and gravitate more. Some people might be like more into history and architecture, and you can have someone that's gonna like, you know, what do I want to be seeing? But not just like another thing too with travel agents, you know, just like those tourists, like here's the big thing, you go to the statue thing, you know,
Or
and
the
the design
ATV.
curator, you get out of that, you know,
Yeah,
so
I
that's
don't want to do any
mhm.
ATV. I don't want to ride any freaking A horses. I don't want to do any. What do you call that? The you know, with the rope and you
Oh,
run.
oh, 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 I know what you're talking about, zip line.
Girl, if I see another zip line in another country, grab me, like control me, because I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to ride the horses through the ocean. I don't want to do any of that. I want, yeah, I'm just saying if that's your thing, it's fine because there was a time when I did, and now, I mean, no, no, and no. I think when you travel, you want to have a full out of body experience, something that you cannot get in your own
Right.
town, your own country. And so, like you said,
Mhm.
like, oh my goodness. Okay, so
Yeah, and sometimes too, when you say in that experience, like that you can't have your own culture, like a lot of times people think within the context of like, I have to go do this big thing or go to this thing. But actually, you know, a culture like experience not in your culture, it could just be sitting at the cafe talking to the locals, like, you know, and just being with that, like and having this engaging experience and you know, breaking bread. For me, a lot of culture is expressed through food.
yeah,
Um, you know, so there's so many different ways. Like it's not always like I gotta, you know, got this ticket and I go to the tour and this, that. It's like those day-to-day experiences, you know, more immersive. I would say instead of going wide, going deep, you know.
say that again.
Instead of going wide, going deep. Exactly. So,
I
you know,
love you, Shanti.
mm-hmm. Oh, don't oh Sean T. Do we
Have you
got a
seen,
picture of him?
huh?
Oh, where's a picture of Sean T? We need to bring him
Girl,
up.
we didn't look. Shanti just did a bodybuilding competition. Have you seen Shanti?
I have seen Sean T. He keeps getting better. Like, oh,
He's getting first of all, he's not even getting older. He's aging
he's
back.
like Benjamin Buttons.
Shanti is everything. It's like since he got married and had kids, his life, it appears as if he
Mm,
is sitting on top of the world and looking super fit and super fine. I'm like, go Shanti. So both of us
mm,
are fans of Shanti. There was a time when
mm.
Tonya thought that she, I don't know, could get married to Shanti, and I was like, honey, you're delusional. But good for you for reaching high. But no, Shanti is not here for you.
Oh,
Um,
no, but people change. I just want to leave that possibility open.
so so then let me ask you this, because we are always running out of time. We have about a minute. Can you share with people who are interested in having an experience, an excursion, a trip, whether it's local or in the States or abroad, how they can get started with you curating their trip for them?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I am online. I'm on Instagram and at the Radical Breath. So you can find me there at the Radical Breath. Um, yeah, and just reach out. That you know that I think you know the first thing that I would do is you know have a conversation with the person. So here's another thing too, because sometimes people don't actually know where they want to go to. So some people might have an idea, and then you know have a conversation about your interests, how long, what you're hoping for, lot of details just to kind of know and you know what direction, what things you might be interested in. Like I said, it's different for different people, and then for sometimes for people they don't know you know, where they want to go, but they might have like some ideas of a vibe they're going for.
Yeah.
Or I want this kind of feel, or I want to go to a place that, you know, has these kind of things, which is something else that I'd be able to help with too, just having such a kind of a wide knowledge of a lot of different places.
Well, Too Tight, I am going to hire you to curate our next girls trip.
Yeah.
So no worries. You'll at least have a booking through Fee King. And I think so. I don't know if you know this, you probably don't, but Sekou is going to create a race, an annual race on day 409 in Nashville. Yeah, he decided. But also, he has the 1,000th day of consecutive running happening in September. So we want to create something magical around that. Do you feel like that's something you could curate, can help us?
Yes, I would love that. And you know, I used to go down to the Nashville area all the time back in the day. I have two of my close friends that they're in Florida now, but they lived in Franklin for a number of years. So I used to go down to that hood.
So that's two things. The 409 is July 14th next year, and then his 1,000th day, 1,000 consecutive days in a row of running will be, I believe, September 25th. The 409 is going to be his annual race. So I'm super excited about that. You are our go-to curator. You like that? Go-to curator. Go-to curator. Sekou's back there like,
you were like, get back on your topic.
All right.
You can get carried away.
To create go. My bad. All right. Well, Too Tight, we have run. No, we have plenty of time, but we need to do the close of the show. I have a couple announcements. Can you hang out for these announcements?
Yes, please.
Right. And tomorrow, Saturday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fee King of Feast Fitness Over 40, your body architect, will be doing a live workout on the gram, on Facebook. I will be posting the link. Please join us. We are actually in the very middle of my current 7-day abs, ass, arms of purpose fitness challenge. We have 22 women strong. You still have a full 24 hours to join. These group of women are so incredible. And so I want you to meet them. And if you're not able to log into the Zoom, it will be streaming live on, again, Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube. That is tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If that's too early for you on the West Coast, no worries. We will have a replay. And then also check out Sekou Wright's Get Rich 101 at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Stocks 101. Start where you are. That will be on Sekou Wright's page. That will be here. Let me just pull that up because I know I have it. Sekou Wright's Get Rich 101. Let me do that real quick. And then the other thing is, if you would like your trip curated and designed to your specifications, reach out to Too Tight Tony Jones at The Radical Breath. And you will see us, let me pull that up. You will see us, Too Tight and myself, God willing, next Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. And then my last, so many announcements. Is the Fee King show has moved over to There Are Black People in Omaha group. That is every Tuesday and Thursday. We're still working out the kinks with the streaming. It ain't our fault, but it is my problem. It ain't my fault. It is my problem. It's a whole, something is happening with the relationship between StreamYard and Facebook. And so one monkey don't stop no show. We're going to figure it out. Too Tight, do you have any announcements for us?
You know what? Love, peace, and hair grease. Woo!
We love y'all. We out. Love, peace, and hair grease. Later.
Peace.